Nigga, I'm stuck in my ways. That's on them, letting cowards fill up they ranks. Goddamn, lost tribes got them following waves. Loyalty a lifestyle, nigga, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm a saint, no New Orleans, it's going up. Next spot, we at the B&B. I'm turned up, I pull up in the SRT. Burning rubber, hey, U.P.K shit. Look, met her at the club, told her pull up to the lobby. She know I'm in the coat, we're all black, no Illuminati. This my other half shit, I can't move without it. These my motherfucking brothers, yeah, what I'm gonna do without them, yeah. If it's beef, I can't wait to sink my teeth in. Niggas going overboard, they off the deep end. Why you tripping off that hoe? That's some weak shit. Told him put me in the game cause I love defense. Yeah, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Yeah, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ay, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, and she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, I ain't gotta settle, I got options, ma. No, I stand on business, my name not Tazar. I'll pop you with this pocket rock. Feed a nigga shells like a taco truck. Hey, this bitch got sound effects, it go pew pew pew. I ain't trippin' on no drink, got bottles in the room. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, bitch, it's 12 a.m. Look at them, they ain't none of us, and we ain't them. I told him, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ay, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, hey, she say she find me interesting. Yeah, want me to call, put me in the game, coach. Fuck you thought, he let his colors fly. He ain't cut, we cut him off. Ay, bounce out, let my fringes swing. Yeah, I'm a dog, hey, she say she find me interesting. Want me to call, yeah, yeah. U.P.K shit, man, you already know what it is. It's the 55th annual Passover, man, turn up. We gon' do this shit the U.P.K way, not the other way. You hear me? Yeah, yeah. They said free the Palestinians, then celebrate the death of native Indians. How these other races gon' take us serious? They don't. It's silly thinking you can fight oppression with a vote. I'm so woke, I got sleep deprivation. Belly of the beast giving birth to a nation. You know how I feel to have culture and they take it. It'll never be peace, tell them free the reservation. Till it's backwards, they don't know that they exist no more. Ever try reaching out for help and you just get ignored? Pick up vices like drugs or try to fill a void. They get a youth life sentence for a killing, he was just a boy. Niggas poor, what we living for? Life a gamble, it's like 10 or 4. Police hands around your neck, they just hit record. We in war, man, this ain't the norm. But you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know. Mama on the stage crying. She just lost her only son to gang violence. Pops level 4 yard talking through the fence. Have you ever tried to hug your loved ones through a fence? Have you ever been hated just because your skin? Have you ever worked all week and couldn't pay your rent? Life a trip, I'm trying to catch my balance. Every step feel like I'm walking backwards. Credit card, but God check the balance. I come from where it's rough, that's why my heart callous. They want you to fall weak, that's a war tactic. Look how we live, what's scary than that? What you know about crossing the Darien Gap? Risk your life to live in hell or bury your kids. Either way we gotta suffer and they just get rich. Life a bitch, why I waste time telling you that? Cause if you ain't a nigga like me, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem Yashai Brakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashem Yahushai to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 500 Barak Yalla with the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? Since 1969, I'll be telling you the truth about everything you need to know about, which is really your identity. Because your identity with your identity comes a culture. Knowing who you are, knowing what you should do, a code of conduct, right? And our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, have been so lost with no code of conduct and damn near like we have no morals, no sense of self. Why? Because we don't know who we are. This is why we gravitate towards, Christianity, Islam, all these different philosophies, religions, and dogmas. Why? Because we don't have something that belongs to us. Now, after years of research, come to find out that those people that are spoken of in the Bible is us. Our true identity is the real biblical Jews of antiquity, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelites. We are the real Jews, no ish. You understand? Contrary to popular belief, being a Jew is not a, some type of faith or some type of, belief or religion. Being a Jew is a bloodline. And these people over there bombarding Palestinians to smithereens are not the real Jews. They are imposters. They are thieves, and they stole our identity, our name, our land, and tarnished our reputation. Even the Bible says it. This is why y'all think that this is what you call a satanic symbol, when it's not. This is the signature of our king, King David, Dawada, which is what it means, David in the Hebrew. Magan Dawada, the shield of David. And it's so stupid for everybody to even call it a star, because even that's what they say in Yiddish. They say Magen David, which is literally the Yiddish version of Magan Dawada, meaning shield of David. So even they're so, this just further shows that they're imposters. Don't even know what they're saying. They're not even saying Star of David in Yiddish. They're saying Shield of David in Yiddish, right? The point is, we are the real biblical Jews of antiquity. And just like every Thursday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Brotherhood class. 1 week out of 2, taught in English and French, right? We learn how to love each other. We learn how to go back towards, the good side of our Father, the Most High God of the children of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the only one true living God, really. Not some rock, not a piece of wood, not a bird, or whatever people worship these days. Who knows? Goddamn, they worship. Listen, they worship oxygen today. You wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. But here's the point: the one and only true power on the face of the earth in the universe is our power. You understand? And tonight's class we're going to see something where, especially for y'all, well, for everybody outside the truth, and you conspiracy theorists and weed heads, this is especially for y'all, because our people make everything complicated. And you know what, Salakia? First and foremost, I would like to say shalom to everybody in the chat. You understand? My sister Nazama Na, Yahweh Shema Thab, Hashem Yahweh Shai. Good night. Officer Matabar right here. You know, Mosai in Christ. Hey, Shalom Say Basha Shabbat Thab. You know, everybody in the chat pulling up. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters, right? Like, share the class everywhere, whether it's in your zone, not in your zone. Listen, you might find a brother or sister. You might find Naomi Osaka's cousin tuning in from Japan. Who knows? Just share the goddamn class. Push the truth, regardless. A lot of y'all on TikTok just watching cat videos and hamsters singing stupidness. Y'all can find like 2 seconds to just tap the like button and share. Show as much zeal in the truth as you showing zeal in watching dumb videos and getting high, right? Salakia, I'm gonna put the link right here in the chat. Officer Matabar is about to join us. Shout out to Officer Matabar, camp leader of Louisiana. You know, what I was about to say is this class is for a lot of y'all conspiracy theorists and weed heads and people who like to listen to Alex Jones and, you know, trying to make something even more difficult than what it really is. Shalom, Radamas 221. Yabashim Shabakatai if you're a brother, Yahweh Shema ala Thaba Hashem Yahweh Shai if you're a sister. Things are more simple than what they are, really. And this is what the class is about. Topic of the class is Black Swan events or biblical prophecy. And I know a lot of y'all, what is he talking about? What is a black swan? Does that even exist? A black swan, like the bird? Let's see what is a black swan for you to understand the context of the class, right? And you're gonna understand how really a lot of y'all are disrespectful children. Y'all are really disrespectful to a whole different extent. That's what in the Apocrypha it says. What's the point of having children if they don't even follow the Most High? You have ungodly children. A lot of y'all are really disrespectful. This is why the Most High is punishing us for a lot of y'all disrespectful ass children. You know, you have Officer Matabar in the building. I can't put him on the screen, but he's right here with us. Shalom, Shayabashin Shabakatat. Whoever for tuning in out of one.
What's going on, man? You know, it's always a pleasure to be up here with you, man, when I get to catch you.
Kai, it's always an honor to have you on. I don't want y'all already know.
Everything going good.
Oppression as usual, and we got to do the work until Christ comes back, and it's still not over.
Damn right. Everybody, make sure y'all ready for that 57th annual Passover down in Houston, Texas, April 4th.
Damn right. Y'all ain't got no excuse to not make it or pay your Passover fee. You know how I know you really don't have an issue paying your Passover fee? It's just $200. It's cheaper than the Jordans that you're gonna buy and mess up in a week. It's, you know, it's the same price as the weed that you buy all the time that you smoke in a week, in a day, and then go buy more weed for $200. How about you spend your money righteously into something that will give you life and not death? Think about it for a second. If you're able to think, that is. But Salaki, let's get back to the topic. Let's define what is a black swan event for y'all to be able to understand the climate that we're in and the topic and the context of the class, right? So I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you what is a black swan event. In Salaki, I don't want Officer Matabar, of course, if you want to chime in at any moment, sir.
Ain't no sweat. I chime in whenever.
Kawakan. Let me zoom in a bit. So a black swan event, let me see. There you go. Here's what's a black swan event. A black swan event is a rare, unpredictable occurrence with massive widespread impact, which people try to rationalize as predictable after it happens. A concept by Nassim Nicholas Taleb in his book, The Black Swan. Let me scroll down a bit more. No, you know what? Let me keep reading right here. Salakia. These events are characterized by being extreme outliers, having severe consequences, often financial or societal. Societal meaning having something to do with society, and being explained away with hindsight bias. Key examples include the 2008 financial crisis, the 9/11 attacks, and the COVID-19 pandemic, which fundamentally changed landscapes, but were unforeseen by standard models, which is the problem. This is the issue we're facing, right? Because they're saying these events have been unforeseen. The Black Swan event, essentially, why wasn't it Black Swan? Because swans are bird related to the duck family, right? People will call them long-necked ducks or whatever. And they're typically white. Nobody could have ever thought about seeing a black swan ever. But here's the problem. A black swan, no matter how rare it is, do exist. It's like seeing a white lion or a black panther. It's even more rare than seeing some of these animals. But some events that have been, occurring or about to happen around the globe are considered damn near non-existent, impossible to happen, such as World War III, such as a nuclear warfare, a race war, segregation, COVID, something worse than COVID. They say 9/11. Who would ever have thought that? I remember as a kid, you just hear on the news out of the blue, what, a terrorist attack on US soil? Who would have ever thought that? Here's the problem. You put too much faith in your oppressor as opposed to the records your father gave you. This is the context of the class. Your God is the white man. Your father, like Christ told you, matter of fact, I'm going to pull up that verse. Christ told the Sadducees and the Pharisees that their father is the devil the Bible speaks of. Who was he talking about? He was talking about the white man. At the time were the Romans. You understand? And this is who your father is. This is who you put your trust in. This is who you don't question. The people who told you to drink bleach to cure yourself of COVID, you don't question that? Not even a second? And this is the problem. You put too much faith in our oppressor. All the faith we should have for our Father, the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We put that faith in our oppressor. And then we turn around and complain when, well, our enemy is lynching us. He's devouring us like the beast in the field that he is. Well, let me get the precept that Christ, when Christ told the Sadducees and Pharisees, they are of their father the devil. Because this is who after whom they follow. This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil. We don't just, call our oppressor the devil because, we're at odds with him. No, because we don't call the Arabs the devil. The Chinese are not the devils. You understand? The Caucasian race is the devil the Bible speaks of. The Ishmaelites are the wild men the Bible speaks of. The Moabites or the Chinese are the washpot the Bible speaks of. Well, guess what? The Edomites, the children of Esau, the Caucasian race whom you call white people today, are oppressor. The oppressor of oppressors are the devil the Bible speaks of. Devil meaning deceiver. He's the lie on the face of the earth. You understand? And just for you to abandon more and more, or to deviate your your mind from going back to your records, which is the Bible, they're gonna come up with terms such as the Black Swan event, conspiracy theories, knowing that all these are biblical prophecy. All these were prophesied in the Bible, in your records. Why? Because you are in captivity and the Lord will deliver you again, like he did time after time. But just like he did in Egypt, this empire must fall and burn down to the ground by the way of plagues, by the way of natural disasters. Job, what is it? Job 18 and 11 or 11 and 18, don't quote me, says terror shall be on all of his sides. Then we see what just happened in Australia. That's in the Bible. It is not a Black Swan event where out of the blue, people just grab firearms and start shooting at a crowd. It's not a rare occurrence. Whether it's in or outside of, whether it's in or outside of America, Salaki. You understand? Every single, how you call it? Every single, let me call it a branch. Every single branch of these conspiracy theories is in the Bible. It's just biblical prophecy. All these are parts of the downfall of this empire in order for you to be free. Why must this empire come down to the ground? We're going to finish the precept, but why must this empire come down to the ground in order for you to be free? Because if you study history, right, this empire, which built itself on the foundation of the Greco-Roman Empire, which built himself on the foundation of the Egyptian Empire, of the Babylonian Empire. Listen, every empire built itself off of the foundation of another empire, which is wicked. It all had you in captivity. The Bible tells you you're not supposed to build on the foundation of another man. Well, guess what? Our empire won't be built on the foundation of Esau's empire. This disgusting and wicked empire. That's why it must be, eradicated from the face of the earth. That's what the Bible says. But we won't do anything. We just sit and watch and go back to the ways of the Most High. You know what we'll do? We'll stop smoking cigarettes. We'll stop being whores. We'll stop being all sorts of nasty sexual deviants. We'll stop being criminals. As this empire falls down, we just go back into following the Most High again. Because that's all we have to do. And that's all we ever had to do. But let me go back to the precept and finish it. John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, which is why you believe in all these conspiracy theories, which is why you believe in these Black Swan event and trying to rationalize every single one of them. COVID happened. Why? Because of the 5G towers or some nonsense like that. Where's the next conspiracy theory? Apparently Trump wants to bring the 6G towers. Make it make sense. The white man told you the mark of the devil is a chip, and you're watching this class on an electronic device which has a chip. It's 2025. Whether or not you have a smartphone, you have a chip in your household because you probably have a home phone. I don't know how old you are. You have a TV, it's still black and white. Guess what? There's components of that chip, of that mark of the beast. You see how dumb you sound? If you have a credit or debit card, you have a chip regardless. You understand? The problem is that as opposed to listening to the reasoning of your father, the Most High God, you listen to the reasoning of your father, the devil. Let me keep reading. And the lust of your father you will do. Everything they do, you want to do. That's why our sisters are whores, not because it's natural, because they want to be like white women. It's as simple as it is. Martin Luther King was a sexual deviant because he wanted to be like the white man, with the white man's trophy, a white woman by his side. I keep mentioning this book. Y'all go read the book, Black Skin and White Mask. I don't know how many times I read it. It tells you how our people, well, it's really more focused on the Caribbean islands. But when you read it, you can see it applies to our people, the 12 tribes. How our people trim their ways, like the Bible says. That's how you understand. This is biblical. Our people trim their ways to be like their oppressors on all levels. Doesn't matter if you're a Christian, you're going to bend to Christianity for what? To follow the Arabs who had you in slavery as well? So like it, sir.
No, I said, God, you right what you're saying. They trim their ways because what is it, next week or the week after they about to get ready to celebrate Christmas.
Good night.
But they gonna lie and say a goddamn deceiver came broke in their house and left presents for everybody. Like you gotta lie to your children and tell them that a so-called YT man left them some gifts. You won't even take credit for your goddamn self. That's how brainwashed you is. That's how stuck in serving your oppressor you is. That you gotta lie to your kids. But then you turn around and tell your kids not to lie to you. You got
and the water out of one. Yeah, this is how crazy it is. Because I forgot I was about to mention that too, out of one. Damn. I taught a class last Saturday on the community center in Uptown in my city. How are you going to reject the Bible saying it's a wise man's book, but you turn around and celebrate Christmas? You understand? The Most High told you don't celebrate Christmas. The white man tell you celebrate Christmas. Matter of fact, let's hold on John real quick. Let's go to I'm gonna show you what you are when you celebrate Christmas, right? And you trim your ways to please your oppressor. Which one it is again? Let me show you 1 second. Bear with me, Baba Kushat. Bear with, I think is it Ezekiel 23. When do you celebrate Christmas? Whether you believe in everything that our oppressor tells you, you understand? I'm gonna show you the state that you're in. Right? It's Ezekiel 23 verse 37. It says, Ezekiel chapter 23 verse 37, that they have committed adultery. It's talking about you following your oppressor's ways. It don't matter if you're the dogma. It don't matter if it's eating unlawful food according to scriptures. You know, joining the military. All of your oppressor's ways. Going against the Lord for what? To follow Alex Jones telling you about the Black Swan event. Going against the Lord for what? To fight for this country who lynches you the moment you come back, if you come back in one piece or in a couple pieces. They'll still find a way to lynch you, even if it's by whatever arm you have left. You understand? They have committed adultery and blood is in their hands. Why? If you go by what, according to the law, adultery is punishable by death. You understand? Adultery is, the blood is in the hands of the adulterer and the adulteress. And the Most High refers to you in some instances as his children and sometimes as his wife. Why? Just to show how disloyal you are. You are as disloyal as an adulterous wife when you fall out to these other nations, when you bow down to these other fake deities. You understand? That's why the Most High refers to you as a wife, just to show you how disloyal you are. You understand? He refers to you as a child, right? Because a children is a precious thing to a father. He refers to you as a wife because, like a wife is a property to her husband, and we belong to the Most High. But also, when he calls you an adulteress, is because you're as disloyal as a whore, and that's what you are. You're a prostitute. It's like it. That's what you are when you fall off to these other nations. And you don't even get paid. Damn, that's diabolical. You understand? They have committed adultery and blood is in their hands, and with their idols have they committed adultery. This is how you understand it's a metaphor, because, you know, it's not talking about physical adultery. It's talking about turning your back on the Most High God to follow after these other nations, as an adulterous woman would turn her back on her husband to sleep with another man. Blood is in their hands as for the adulterer and the adulteress, according to the law. Let me keep reading. And have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire to devour them. Listen, that's you telling your children, listen, you have to go enlist in the military, because you ain't nothing if you ain't gonna enlist in the military. You know, come to Christmas. Why? Because it makes me happy. Children don't give a damn about what the adults tell them. You know how I know? Because children don't listen. They don't pay attention. They have the attention span of a newborn puppy. The child has to be taught, and it has to be damn near implemented in him to follow Christmas, to follow all these customs that don't belong to us. Like, you tell a 3-year-old happy birthday, they can't even speak. They won't even remember those words. How do they know they have to celebrate their birthday every year? Because you make them do it. How do they know they have to celebrate Christmas every year? They don't, but you make them do it. You program them into sinning. That's how you sacrifice your sons. It's talking about your children. You sacrifice them, right? When I say, who didn't bear unto me, again, as the nation of Israel, compared to a wife, as we multiply, we bring forth children, and those children belong to the Most High. We sacrifice these children by what? By teaching them the works of voodoo, telling them where you should be proud to be a Haitian because voodoo freed the country. Meanwhile, that was propaganda by the French. Why? Because they were too embarrassed to say that the people who they have as slaves beat them, were smarter than them and stronger than them. That's why. Yes, I ain't gonna be too long when we get back to the topic of the class, but that's just heavy how Officer Badabar just brought this out. You understand? Y'all want to talk about the white man this, the white man that, and we shouldn't follow the Bible. Y'all gonna go celebrate Christmas next week. Y'all gonna expect a fat white child molester to come down the chimney in the middle of the night while you are asleep to bring what? Gifts to your child? And a matter of fact, I think one of them just got arrested for like child pornography or molesting children at the mall. He was crowned the best Santa of the year. Damn, y'all really hate your children, and it shows. Because all you have to do is turn back to the Lord to protect your children. As opposed to that, you know what you do? You turn back to the most profane fornicator, who's Esau, which is the biblical of the Caucasian race. And then you're shocked that your children are hurt. You're shocked that Santa Claus is a child molester and that you let your child sit on his lap. We're not shocked because we know the nature of our oppression, that we should not follow them. You understand? It's a lot, y'all. Let's get back to it, right? Again, Christ was telling the Sadducees and Pharisees that they are of their father, the devil. Why? The Most High gave you the blueprint, but you reject this blueprint. That's how we're destroyed. Hosea 4:6 says, we're destroyed for lack of knowledge. We reject the knowledge. We're destroyed because we don't actually read the Bible. You know what you do? You just listen to the preacher sing. You listen to the preacher sing, and he puts autotune, and you see some curvy women just gyrating around the church. Now you're hypnotized. And they have hats with feathers. You know, it's a vibe. And they use certain, what you call it again, certain musical frequencies. That's a true thing. Look it up. It's science. This is how you feel so happy when you hear Christmas songs. It warms your heart. They use certain tones in the music just to warm your heart, to be like, yo, you know what? It's that time of the year, right? Spooky season, they play spooky music. In the church, they play rainbow music and stripper pole music. You know how I know? Because some pastors don't even have first ladies no more, they have first men. Some pastors transition. I don't even know how you can transition, but that's the term they like to use today. And all of them sleep with your wife in the church. And don't even get me started on what they do to the children. But everything, the church don't follow the Bible. If they did, they would not commit all these sinful acts. But they do, which shows that they don't follow the Bible. You know what you do? You don't follow the Bible. You reject it because of the indoctrination of the church. You refuse to follow the Bible for those who say, well, we should not follow the Bible. It belongs to a white man. The only reason you think it belongs to a white man because the white man told you so. And that's why we need to finish the verse, John 8:44. Our oppressor, who is the devil the Bible speaks of, lies about everything. What makes you think he didn't lie about the Bible? John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. The oppressor lies all the time. Trump said, drink bleach. You will cure yourself of COVID. In a way, he was not wrong. But guess what? You will cure yourself of the breath in your lungs. You will cure your life out of your body too. That's how you're going to cure yourself of COVID if you drink bleach. You're going to die. You're going to kill COVID and yourself. Salakia. The devil the Bible speaks of told you drink bleach. You'll cure yourself of COVID. The devil the Bible speaks of saying Venezuela is at fault for all the fentanyl in the US. He didn't even say the cocaine. And even that would still be wrong. And guess what? Our oppressor is such a devil. Trump said, not only is Venezuela at fault for all the fentanyl in the US, which we know is a lie, after he said that, he classified fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Do we have to remind you of what happened when they were seeking quote-unquote weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I do not believe in black swan events, but I know that my oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. They will find any excuse to invade another nation, especially if it's ours. And I know biblical prophecy that an impending world war on a nuclear level is about to take place. How do I know that? Because I follow the blueprint that was provided to me by my forefathers. You understand? Let's finish the verse. Because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. Good night. Should we say more? What will make you finally realize that you should not listen to what white people say? White people, I tell you, they are indigenous to Africa. The Africans invaded Africa. How does that make sense? White people literally said that. Here's a whole clip we mentioned on our show, 1 West Ground Zero with Officer Adiyar. The white man says the real indigenous people are the colonizers. Like, how you call yourself indigenous and a colonizer? And then you're going to tell me that we should listen to what our oppressor says? Good night. Let's finish this. For he is a liar and the father of it. It's simple. Why would you even listen to anything that the oppressor says? The oppressor who will go ahead and lynch you and then make it seem like it was a self-unaliving. You want to listen to him? You're a person that plants narcotics on you just so he could arrest you, not just to fill a quota, but he could arrest you and charge you with something and have you incarcerated on false pretenses. You gonna listen to him? You're a person that made your women hate you. Tell you, listen, to the core. You know why our women hate us so much? because there's our woman as their lieutenant. The oppressor that told you you don't need a man, and now you turn around and say, well, black men don't want us, black men ain't shit or whatnot. The oppressor made you think that way. Now you realize you were conditioned to think that way, and you still want to follow the people who made you think that way? How does that make sense? It's a lot, one. I need help explaining that. I need help understanding that, because apparently, you know, maybe I'm not the smartest person, but I could recognize the devil from miles away. The same oppressor that tells us we're savages and we're bloodthirsty criminals. When you look at, historically speaking, they're the worst. Listen, these people have a unquenchable bloodthirst, so much so that they are worse than Genghis Khan. If you know who Genghis Khan is, and to be worse than Genghis Khan, boy, you have to be a monster on a different level. And this is the people who you decide to listen to. And this is the problem. First and foremost, we have to show you how you should not listen to the people who are pushing these conspiracy theories about, you know, black swan events, or these events may not happen, or what should happen, or whatnot. You know, we gave you the last two classes with shout out to Officer Kazaka Imad and Officer Malak, right? We brought to you the best prepping episodes. All you have to do is get right with the Lord, because you could stack up everything. You'd rather listen to white men tell you, yo, stack up all the food in your house, you'll be prepared for everything that's going to happen. You could stack up rice to the ceiling, unperishable food to the ceiling. The Lord doesn't have your back if you do not obey. Let me get that real quick. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. What is it? Ecclesiasticus 2. Bear with me 1 second. Go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 13. The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. You're weak-minded. You let all these conspiracy theories play in your mind. Now, I'm not saying that you should not get prepared. You know, I'm not saying that at all. But you rely solely on all the YouTube videos you've been watching. You rely solely on the conspiracy theories. So much so that a lot of y'all didn't take the vaccine thinking, yo, we're turning into X-Men. We're turning into mutants. Metal is attracted to me. Listen, I took the vaccine. You know what? My superpower was to be trying to, you know, turn into a fireball or something like that. So like the torch, like the human flame. You know, I can light a fire with matches. That's it. But I can't turn myself into a fire. I can't breathe underwater after the vaccine. I cannot be a physical magnet. Y'all listen to all the conspiracy theories because you're weak-minded. You don't trust in the Lord with all your heart. You don't. You trust in the white man, though. You trust in the white man. So much so that he made you believe that he infected you with syphilis. He made you, he got you to not come to the doctor anymore. If you're dying of some type of disease and your only choice is to come to the doctor, like, no, I ain't going to the doctor. White people are going to set me up. I know. I'm a French Benjamite. No French Benjamite trusts going to the doctor. After we got poisoned by the French, you know, and we have the highest rate of prostate cancer in the world, a French Benjamite will tell you, I'm going to eat grass before I go to the doctor. I have, what is it? I don't know. I have eye cancer or something like that. I'm gonna dip a hot, I'm gonna take a washcloth or some compress, right? I'm gonna take a gauze, dip it in like hot lemon tea and press it against my eye, and I'm gonna get rid of the cancer. I kid you not. That's Benjamites. That's West Indian people. Why? Because our oppressor pushed so much fear in us that we think he is God. We don't trust anything that is not black. Well, what is black? The Bible is black. That's what you should trust. God is black. You don't want to trust anything because it's not black. You know? Listen, which is so hypocritical because y'all don't even trust each other in the first place. Well, guess what? God is black. The Bible is black. Christ is coming back. He's black. You know how I know I know Christ is black? Because he's been saying he ain't back, but he ain't back yet. The white man is always on time. That's how you know Christ ain't white. The white man is always on time. The white man is early, double time. Christ will be back. He will deliver you from your chains and your captivity, and it's going to be a horrible sight to see. Even though we're going to be free, we're going to rejoice. Have you seen like live casualties in front of you? Watch the movies. Imagine in the movie you see like bodies separated or whatnot. I don't know, horror movies, war movies. Imagine this amount of casualty on a planetary scale. You think it's not going to be horrible? A lot of y'all going to be traumatized, even though y'all free. You know? But that's the point. You listen to white people too much. You believe everything they say. You're going to watch movies thinking, well, this is the time that we're in. Some of the movies are true, that this is our time that we're in. But guess what? You know where they got the script from? The Bible. The Bible is the greatest movie script on the face of the earth, and the only truthful one. And that's how they come up with these movies. I brought this movie out. I rewatched that movie like 3 times out of 1. It's called Greenland. The second part is coming out, I think, next week or next month. You see how oppressors are panicking? And all these movies go together. The Purge, Greenland, The Day After Tomorrow, all these apocalyptic movies, the end of the world movie. They got that from the Bible. And this is the problem. They're using your records, and they tell you to not use your records. This is how our oppressor knows his time is really short. You know, and you know what he does, knowing that his downfall is about to happen. He's making sure he's bringing you down with him. That's it. Hey, shalom, brother. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Thought. Word for tuning in. That's really it. That's why you have to abandon following. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, right? I don't know who's seen the movie. And of course, Officer Matabar is in the building with us. If you want to chime in on one any moment, right? I don't know if anyone's seen that movie. It's called, I think, South Central, right? Remember, I think it's around the end of the movie. The kid has 2 choices: to listen to his dad to tell him to do the right thing, or to listen to the friend of his dad to become a gangbanger. You understand? We're the people that, and when you look at it, the dad was the right path to follow. We don't ever follow the right path. And that's our oppressor right now. That's where we are. We're that kid, even though in the movie, the wrong path to follow was not an oppressor, but it was a brother that definitely followed the example of the white man. The point is this: we're that kid at a crossroads right now. It's either we go on the right path to follow the right way, to be in the light, which is life, or we go down the wrong path and we end up dead. It's that simple. You know, you have 2 choices: to either follow or listen to the white man, his conspiracy theories, or to follow the Lord. Let's get back to the verse. Ecclesiasticus 2:13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted. You will be destroyed because you're weak-minded, because you're afraid, because the white man comes out with all these conspiracy theories and make you believe all types of nonsense. A lot of y'all joined the military talking about, yo, we're gonna go to war and then we're gonna get ready to get to war in space. Yeah, y'all getting ready to go to war in space for what? For what? You know? Because the white man told you he's expecting an enemy that is not from the earth. He literally said that. I think, what, Ronald Reagan said that? I forgot, one of the presidents said they're waiting for an enemy that is not on the earth. Y'all training day and night. Y'all training day and night, but y'all will not win this war. The only way to be on the winning side is for you to come back to the Lord. Woe means death and destruction. That's what it means. Because you're too weak. And the problem is, you don't realize how weak you are. You know why? Because you trust in the white man's military parade. That's what it is. The white man makes a show of power and you trust, you know, his military assets. You trust in the show of his artillery. It don't matter whether it's brand new artillery or not. It don't matter if it's sophisticated, old school, or AI. That's what you put your faith in. You know, now come to find out, the Lord don't give a damn about that. You think Christ is going to show up with a bazooka and an M16? Christ is chopping these heads off. Old school. He's cracking the sky with 200 million nigga angels. Think he gives a damn about a 45? Christ trusts in the Lord. He's showing us the right way to do the thing, to do the right things, which is just trust in the Lord. Woe unto you that is faint-hearted. Again, we're not saying don't get prepared or whatnot for these famines that are coming, you know, but what are you gonna do? Stack up the food to the ceiling. You may have all the food in your house, and guess what? Because you don't trust in the Lord will not protect you from the thieves. They're gonna come and rob you. Let me finish that real quick. For he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. The Most High won't defend you. It says the Most High is a buckler to those that walk in his way. A buckler is a shield. Shield is defense, protection. If you're weak-minded, which is what it means to be faint-hearted, right? Most High won't protect you. You'll be at the mercy of these thieves and murderers and who knows what they want to do to your wives and children. You'll be at their mercy because all you have to do is listen to the Lord. Let me jump down to verse 17. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 17. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts. If you fear the Lord, which is to follow the law, right? You'll prepare your heart, not the one that's beating in your chest cavity. It's not about your mind. So when you're faint-hearted, it's your mind, you're weak-minded, and it's the same. When you have a dark heart, you know, you have a bad mind. You have a, what did it say? A cœur de pierre. How do you say that in English? Cœur de pierre. Damn. A heart of stone. That doesn't mean that your heart is physically granite. Your heart is not a sediment. It just means that, you know, you're like a brick wall. You're harsh. You may need to show more compassion. That's what it means. So it's not a literal heart, but you will prepare your mind if you fear the Lord, because you know what comes with disobeying the Lord. And if you don't know, well, you should be in these classes right now. You should come learn what happens when you disobey the Lord. What happens is you need to come to class because you don't know that you should follow the law. You don't know brotherhood. You were robbed of your identity. Why? Because you did not fear the Lord, and he did not protect you. He let these nations enslave you. It's tough love, but it had to happen so we could learn our lesson. Just like, listen, you tell your kid, don't play with the fire, and then you see him playing matches, they're like, oh, I told you many times, don't play with the fire. The moment you get burned, hey, Lord be with you. It's like it, you know. You keep reading that they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. You don't be boasting about, you'll humble yourself. You don't be boasting about, yo, none can happen to you or whatnot. Listen, the Lord will bring you up and reward you just like he could bring you down and test you. You just pipe down, Relax for a second. Just be humble. Be glad that the Lord has, listen, especially in the time that we're in right now, in this grace period, be glad and thankful. The Lord has mercy on you. You understand? Be glad and thankful that you get another chance. Don't be like, well, I came into the truth. Now I'm saved. The Bible don't even say that. I don't give a damn. The Bible don't say that. The Bible says, he that shall endure till the end is saved. You have to endure till the end. Prepare your heart to endure until the end and humble yourself. You understand? Let's go to verse 18. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 18 saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of man. Why? Because the Lord will protect you. If you prepare your heart, and if you fight your demons, and if you don't be faint-hearted and fail to obey the Lord, or if you drop back to that dark place full of demons and you can't fight, and you let them win, now you go sinning again. You don't know what will happen. All this food that you stacked up to get prepped for a famine or World War III, someone's going to come steal it. Why? Because you were too weak to not smoke cigarettes. That's why. You're so weak you couldn't stop yourself from smoking a cigarette. It attracted someone, like someone's in that house smoking. Whatever they're smoking, they're in there. They might have something I want. And these people will come in your house and rob everything. The point I'm making then is the Lord will protect you, not the oppressor. Let's finish the verse. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. You understand? The oppressor will not protect you. You know what the oppressor will do? He will leave you to die. He will leave you for dead. The oppressor, especially in these days that are coming, the Bible says that there shall be sedition among men and people will take their own action in their hands. I'm just paraphrasing. That's its second address. You see how the police officers are saying, we have a family to go back to. We're scared. We want to go back to my family. Well, these days are coming where, as opposed to use that as an excuse, just to shoot you, to drop you on the ground, unalive, it's going to be a real thing where they have families to go back to. They're not going to want to literally risk their lives. They're not going to come. I think it was like a year and a half ago. I think it was in Chicago, somewhere in the Midwest. The police said it doesn't matter what 911 call they receive. They're not coming on the scene unless there's a loss of life. They're not. You get mugged. Who knows what incident may happen? They're not going to show up. Times are coming where your 911 will be the ISUPK. The men of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command of YAHANNA. You're not going to have a choice. You're going to realize that you won't have a choice but to follow the Lord. Because all that faith that you should have for the Lord, you gave it to someone, to a nation that despised you, to a nation that never gave a damn, to a nation that is, how does it describe again? A fierceful nation that has no regards for the old or the young. That's what you're doing. This is who you trust. So you want to listen to? Ask them what's about to happen. Ask them what's the next so-called Black Swan event, because I can show you right now what's about to happen. I'm gonna show you right now. Let's go to it's like, what is it? It's in Zechariah. Is it Zechariah? Let's go to Zechariah chapter 2, verse 7. I'll show you what's about to happen and why is it about to happen. And also Joel chapter, what is it? Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3. Matter of fact, let's start at Joel and then we get Zechariah. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days, meaning in the days that are coming, right? Behold, in those days and in that time, it's talking about a period of time, right? When I shall bring the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. For those who may ask, why is it talking about Judah and Jerusalem? Because after the kingdom split, after Solomon decided to sleep with white women, Africans, Asians, the kingdom got split in two because he had interracial relationships, which is forbidden according to the law. This is to free us from captivity. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Where is that? That's in like southern, in the southern part of the state of Israel today. Somewhere around that, right? This is what everything you're seeing right now is happening. This is where the final showdown will be. This is why over there it's like the epicenter of the conflict. Why? Because this is where the final showdown will be. Everybody will be over there. You understand? Just so we could be freed from our captivity. This is not a Black Swan event. This is a prophecy for World War III. That's prophesied in the Bible. And I'm going to show you nuclear war in the Bible. All these that you would call Black Swan events, that you would call conspiracy theories not likely to happen, are biblical prophecies. Russia taking back Ukraine was prophesied thousands of years ago. Before your great grandmother was in chains. Imagine that. Before the American Revolution. This was prophesied before the transatlantic slave trade happened. Biblical prophecies were here before the Black Swan events, and your father told you so. But you refused to listen to your father, the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You decided to listen to your father, the devil. You decided to listen to white people who told you to not listen to your father. Just like all these hoodlums that tell you, don't listen to your parents. Smoking weed is cool. Now you smoke weed listening to the hoodlums on the block and you're a drug addict. Or your parents trying to protect you. You're saying, no, I want to be cool like them. I want to be cool like such and such on the block and have a nice car and jewelry, and women and whatnot. Now you're in jail because you sold drugs. You probably unalived someone. Who knows what you did? I could tell you what you didn't do. You didn't listen to your parents. Just like you didn't listen to the Most High God. Let's get back to it. Joel chapter 3 verse 2, I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. That's why they're about to unalive each other from all sides, north, east, south, west, northeast, southwest, whichever sides. Bombs are going to be flying, bullets are going to be landing, bodies are going to be dropping. Why? Because they had you in captivity. Because you're in chains. You are still a slave. That's why. Under them, all these nations. You are oppressed by all these nations. They have put their hands on you. And just like a good father would protect his children and defend his children, he's coming to our rescue. He's sending our king, our leader, to come deliver us. But these things must happen before he makes his entrance on the scene. You understand? This is why all these are happening. There is no such thing as a black swan event. But there is such thing as biblical prophecies, which we are seeing unfold every day. Let me finish that and we'll go to Zechariah, right? Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. That's why they're going to go to war. World War III will happen for one sole reason. To have you delivered from captivity. This must happen. This empire must come down to the ground in order for you to be freed from captivity and in order for your empire to be risen up, built from a new foundation, which the blueprint is right here in the Bible, in your records. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 2. We start at verse 7. Zechariah chapter 2 verse 7. Deliver thyself, O Zion. Another name for the nation of Israel, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Why are we dwelling with them? Because we're captive under them. You know the daughter, who's the daughter of Babylon? Babylon, which was the capital of the Babylonian Empire, which is the capital of our oppressor's empire right now. Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, is America. You understand? This is what the daughter of Babylon is. Babylon fallen like never before. The epicenter of our oppressor's empire is America. Verse 8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, meaning the Lord of armies. Why? The Lord is a man of war, the Lord of hosts. And you think I would trust the white man's army when my God is the Lord of hosts? My God is the Lord of armies, and I would have to, put my faith in an army that he could obliterate at a snap of a finger, as opposed to him? I would have to put my faith in an army that was created as opposed to the creator? Make it make sense. It's a lot. Zechariah 2 and 8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, after the glory had he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. All these nations which rob you till this day. That's what being spoiled is. They spoiled you. They robbed everything from you. They stole your people. They stole your culture. They stole your women, your children, your land, your language, your identity. Listen, it's still not enough. They stole everything and they still want more, right? After the glory hath he sent me unto the nations was spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. You know what the apple of his eye mean? La prunelle de ses yeux in French. Is the most precious thing for the Lord. That's why it's happening. You're trying to rationalize these black swan events. You're trying to rationalize and find a reason for, you know, the society collapse, Bitcoin, the Chinese, BRICS. The Muslims are saying, well, Islam is multiplying across the face of the earth. They'll take over. The China is saying they're the next superpower. You know, or listen, whatever people are saying, whatever nonsense people are saying, this is the only thing that matters. All this is happening because all these nations had a hand in your captivity. It's that simple as that. See, I told you at the beginning of the class, right? Especially for y'all weed smokers and people who like to listen to conspiracy theorists. Y'all make everything complicated for no reason. It's simple. The Bible says, which I'm going to show you just now, that if we listen, we'll be rewarded. If we disobey, we'll be punished. The problem is, as a punishment, we'll be, you know, driven to captivity time after time. But the nations that had us captives did the most, especially the latest one. They did the most. The Most High never told them, feed us to alligators. The Most High never told them, castrate us and use our women in sex slave harems. The Most High never told these nations to do such atrocities to us. But they did. You know, they did. This is why the Most High will render them devastated. That's why. And they all had a hand in our captivity. None of these nations will be spared. None. You understand? This is inevitable. Listen, to all you trying to save all these nations, you're trying to save the Edomites, trying to save the African, you're trying to save whoever. Why don't you try to save your people and have your people know that they will finally be free? You understand? It's that simple. This is the only thing that matters, right? That you obey the Lord. Because the only reason you're in the predicament that you're in is because you disobeyed the Lord. That's it. Like, it's not a quantum scientific equation. It's not. You obey, you're rewarded. You disobey, you're reprimanded. How is that not simple? Let me show you. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Then we'll go back to Zechariah, right? So Matabar is back as well. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, meaning it shall happen, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day. This is especially for y'all Christian, right? You will only get rewarded if you obey all the commandments, not just the one you feel like are not done away with, because none of them is done away with. You hypocritical Christian who obey and listen to white people. But that's besides the point. The point is this. This is what happens when we obey. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Pretty self-explanatory, right? You obey, you get rewarded. With what? With dominion, rulership. That's what. What happens if you disobey now? Verse 6, verse what? 15. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Now the opposite of verse 1. Verse 1, if we obey, we rewarded. Verse 15, if we disobey, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. It's that simple. We're cursed today. High blood pressure, black on black crime, no knowledge of self, no heritage, no language, being disrespected every day by these nations. We're cursed. And we know we cursed. You know how we know we cursed? Every time something bad happened to black people, it's like, God, why? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to us? You will know why if you read the Bible. You would know why if you would stop listening to white people that tells you the Bible is a white man's book. You would know why if you came to class. Listen, I cannot make it more simple than that. I try though. I can't. I make it as simple as possible for anyone to understand. A child would understand this. Guess what? We're the children of the Lord. You should be able to understand that. But you refuse to. Because, and I don't necessarily blame you at all, oppression is bad and does a number on us like it's unbelievable. A lot of us come from different walks of life, have been through all types of things in our lives, you know. So I don't want to say from the most minor things, because you don't know how it affects a person on an individual basis, but I know how it affects a nation. You know, a lot of us need hours, days of counsel, which is what the men of the Lord is for. You know, not to shade anything that any brother or sister is going through, right? But a lot of y'all reject the knowledge. You would rather live in your pain than be free. You'd rather be in chains in your pain than be free. You don't want to free yourself from the pain. A lot of us seek more pain because, you know why? It makes them feel alive. It makes them feel like they're feeling something. It's damn near like getting high. That's why some of y'all don't even get high. You just get tattoos all over your body. And like the pain, to endure the pain. You can't get over life without the pain. Well, guess what? In the I.S.U.P.K, we feel the pain of our people every day, and we endure it till the end. We feel your pain. Whatever you went through, we feel your pain. And we know why it happens. This is why we have these brotherhood classes, to let you know, listen, there's a solution, that you should not get high. Who told you to get high to mask your pain? You're gonna get high, you're gonna forget about the pain. The high is gonna come down, you're gonna feel the pain again, and then you need to get even more high, to the point where you build up a tolerance for whatever narcotic you consume. Now you're consuming more drugs that are, you know, are more addictive than the other. You spiral down to where you can't get back up anymore, and now you're dead. When the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we love our people so much, we don't want you to die. We don't. If we didn't care, we wouldn't even have these classes. We wouldn't go to camp. We wouldn't have conversation with brothers and sisters in the streets every day. Whatever things they went through, you know, from all walks of life. It don't matter if they're in the ghetto. It don't matter if they're from the suburbs. It don't matter if they're celebrities. You think Kanye, they went through some abuse or some type of trauma? You think we care? There's no respect of persons. It don't matter. You're my people. You understand? And I'm not gonna reject you coming to class, having a conversation with you, you know, or showing you brotherhood. Why? Because you're a millionaire? Then I forgot one. What's the precept again? I forgot. It's in the New Testament about the rich man with a ring and a garment or whatnot. You know, we're not respect of persons over here. You could come Kawakan, Thuadasir. You know, I think it's in James somewhere. I'm gonna pull it up in a second, but the point is, listen, you're a what's a brother name? Listen, I don't even know. The homeless brother that I don't know, that I may see tomorrow in the street, you know, struggling like never before. I'm gonna be as much as a brother to him that I would be to, who knows, Jay-Z. I'm gonna be a brother regardless. You understand? Because we love our people. We love our people so much. We're giving you the truth. Because without the truth, you're going to remain a slave. And that's the problem. You don't even know you're a slave. Let me get to what is it, Luke? Christ have to show the disciples, listen, y'all are slaves. Y'all don't even know. That's the problem. A lot of us don't know we're slaves. Now it's John 8:32. Salakia. You go to John chapter 8. We're going to get back to Zechariah in a second. It's John 8:32. Christ said this, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Knowing the state that you're in today will make you free. You understand? You won't be shocked. Sir.
Is it James 2:1-7? Is that the one you talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. James chapter 2. Kawakan, sir, Kawakan. I'm gonna pull that up real quick in a second. Tawada, the one. You understand? If you are a slave, you won't be shocked. If we tell you the truth, you won't be shackled in your mind no more. This is why. Do you know how liberating it is to say that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of? It's not just, oh, it's a racial issue, black and white people. We're slaves to these people. Imagine in 1492 being able to say that. You were not. You were lynched. Today it's like, especially after, integration and still being lynched today in 2025, being able to realize who the enemy is, knowing that you're not at fault. Sidebar before I pull up James, right? I posted a clip in French of a brother that's saying he won't keep saying, fuck les béquets or whatnot. Béquet is a slang in Martinique and Guadeloupe for the oppressor, the white man, right? He won't keep saying F them or whatnot, or he don't like them. He won't keep saying that. Even though it's the truth, we know what they did to us. He's not going to go back to it because a lot of the fights he had was amongst his own people. So I said, well, they're at fault for us turning against each other. One brother said, you know what, you're not wrong, but we have to look at the reality of it. We keep fighting each other. And he's not wrong either. But the problem is, the reason why you're coming back to me with that answer is because of the white man. The white man is responsible for everything. And this is what we don't understand. We're to a point where Commander General YAHANNA said it best. Right? I'm just going to paraphrase what Commander General YAHANNA said. We're conditioned to the point where we make ourselves the scapegoats. We blame ourselves for everything. For black on black crime, for the drugs in our neighborhood, even though we're not the one bringing in the guns. We're not the one bringing in the drugs. But we blame ourselves for everything. And even though we know the conditions that were set around us are not by us, we still going to blame ourselves. This is why it's so important for you to be able to say. Say it right now. As you're watching this class, say it with me. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. It'll make your teeth whiter. You won't even have to go to the dentist no more. It will get rid of cavities. We might grow. Listen, you're toothless. You're going to grow some teeth back. Say the white man's the devil the Bible speaks of. In French, in Spanish, in English. Blanc maintenant c'est diable. L'homme blanc est le diable dont parle la Bible. El hombre blanco es el diablo que habla la Biblia. Say it in Portuguese. Hombre blanco é o diabo. Just say it. It will be delivering yourself. Because now you have to start examining, why did I say that? What does devil mean? Why did I say that? Is he really the devil? Is he not? Because I know some good white people. I know you know some good white people. The one that made sure that weed is legal for you. Yeah, they're good white people, right? The one that you befriended in jail, who probably are the reason you're in jail in the first place. I know they're good white people. Your white girlfriend's family, who make black jokes all the time. They're not bad white people. They just make black jokes, right? Muhammad Ali said he's not going to try to figure out which snake is venomous or not among like a group of like 10, 20 snakes. He's just going to shut the door to make sure whatever is bad doesn't come to harm my people. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? If you don't know the truth, you're going to remain a slave. You're going to keep believing in these black swan events. You're going to keep rejecting the Bible, which is not a white man's book, which is even more diabolical. I'm not going to reject the Bible and say we shouldn't read the Bible. It's a white man's book. How many of y'all niggas read The Art of War and they ain't complain it's a Chinese man book? What's the thing again? Y'all disgusting, nasty. I forgot what's the thing called. But y'all read all types of things. Y'all don't even reject the Quran. The Quran is not a black man book. Damn. Imagine that. Y'all are hypocrites. The point is this. You made yourself to be a hypocrite because you were conditioned to reject everything that belongs to you. Everything. For an example, you're conditioned to reject, I don't want to say good music. I'm going to say like lyrical music where you talk about oppression, right? And you're made to accept the next Chief Keef, the next, what's the little nigga name in Memphis? Pooh Shiesty. You know that the lifestyle they're rapping about, I'm not even talking about the fact whether it's fictitious or not. That behavior does not come from us. Didn't we know we adopted that gangsterism lifestyle from white people? Listen, my dad used to tell me and my cousin, they were younger, it's like they see, like a big phenomenon was Scarface. After Scarface, everybody wanted to be Tony Montana. Everybody. Scarface was, damn, a movie about some Italian portraying to be Cuban, right? Smuggling all the cocaine in the world, made us want to start selling all the cocaine in the world. That behavior is not our behavior. Homosexuality is not natural behavior to you. Or as a matter of fact, any sexual deviancy. Being a whore is not, natural behavior to you. Listen, everything that's black, we reject. And we accept everything that is not. And the number one thing that is black that you reject is the Bible. That's like, let me go to James real quick. We're getting short on time. Get to James and then go back to Zechariah. It's the book of James, chapter 2, start at verse 1. It says, my brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. I'm going to say exactly what I was talking about when I said I'm going to be a brother to Jay-Z, just like I'm going to be a brother to the man that's, homeless, that didn't eat in a week, that probably couldn't take a shower. Why? Because they won't let them even in a community center or in a gym. Now, I'm giving you an example because I've seen it. It happens. Verse 2. For if there come into your assembly a man with a gold ring, in goodly apparel, and there come also a poor man in vile raiment. If Jay-Z comes to class right now, if who else? Lil Wayne or yeah, you're from Louisiana, I don't want to lag it. Birdman with gold ring.
Birdman, young NBA boy.
Yeah, all these cats with diamond rings, VVS diamond on their ring, their ears, their teeth, right? If they come in class right now and I see the neighborhood crackhead, just picture that. That's what James 2:2 is. Picture that, right? In the same setting. Are you gonna be more brotherly or strike more of a conversation with Jay-Z? Are you gonna Salakia. Is that how they say in English? They're gonna suck up to him? Pause, no diddy. You know? Is that what you're going to do? Let's see. Verse 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing. Good night. That speaks for itself. Salakia. That speaks for itself. Now, for those who don't know, before the Rainbow Mafia abducted the rainbow, and the word gay means something happy. That's literally what it means. Right? And say unto him, sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool. So are you going to treat Jay-Z or Birdman better than the neighborhood crackhead who's coming to class, who's coming to the Passover? Are you going to offer Jay-Z, put Jay-Z on a pedestal and gave him a chair to sit before the other brother? Or tell the brother that he can't sit? Why? Because his pants are the same pants he's been wearing for the past 2 weeks, full of crumbs and, you know, not looking appealing to your eye. Because that's really what it is. You know, it's appealing to your eye. You like, it's just like seeing a man in a suit and a brother coming from the hood with baggy jeans and baggy clothes. You speak to that man with respect, or you speak with him like it's an honor to speak to him, like he's a president, or he's you know, a chief of nations or whatnot. And you speak to the brother from the hood like he ain't shit. That's really what it's talking about. Respect of persons, which we don't have in here. Everybody's welcome to class. If you are Black, Latino, or Native Indigenous descent from your father's side, of course, same as the Passover, all the feast days, the cookouts we all through the year. You understand? Let's see, we read more. Verse 4. Are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? That's you, because you know what? Salakia. Let me close that. You know what? You're going to be, what is it, partial? Be biased. That's what partial is. Because when you're impartial, you're unbiased. Salakia. You don't pick a side based on what is more appealing. You know? Salakia. You understand? Just because the brother looks broke, listen, Christ didn't have a job. Then Christ is a carpenter and he didn't have a job. He's doing the work of the Lord. He didn't have what we call a slavery. You know? Christ was described as not even appealing to the eye. And are you gonna offer a chair to King Saul as opposed to Christ? Matter of fact, would you had sided with King Saul or David? David was homeless and on the run with a price on his head. King Saul was the king. You know, over here it's not about being. Oh, so lucky. You want to chime in, other one?
No, I said right. If I don't know if you can, but I had sent you a few videos on Messenger. Showed for this. I don't know if you could play them. Like one of them 9 minutes, you ain't got to play the whole 9 minutes. You could probably get it at like the last minute and a half marker, but just to show what our oppressors gonna do. You know what I'm saying? How they know that we supposed to be in rulership over them.
Kawakan, let me see if I could pull it up because I didn't have my Messenger open. Oh, good night. Kawakan, 1 second. I'm gonna save it literally for the last segment, just for time's sake, I don't want, but Most High in Christ. Good night. Y'all are not ready for this. Give me one moment. Brace with us, bear with us 1 second. Baba Kusha. You understand? Over here again, we have no respecter of person, meaning, You're not going to be looked at in high regards just because you're a Jay-Z and you have a gold ring on your finger. It is real gold and diamonds. Who cares? You probably eat pork. You're definitely a homosexual. I'm not talking about him specifically, but you're a sinner. You know, the brother is probably just hungry. He's down on his luck, but he's righteous. But the thing is, right? What makes you better than the brother that you don't know nothing about? That's like these purple churchgoers, purple sodomites. They're saying they don't feed the homeless. The purple sodomites, they wear purple and gold. They say they don't feed the homeless. You know, I think they say what? Because they're sinners or something. Listen, we feed everybody.
Wow, Salakia.
That's
just like the Christians. They all talk about they love Christ. Oh, we love Christ. We love God. But then you shit on your own people.
Damn right.
Like, this was a behavior that it was taught to you by your damn oppressor to not care about your people, but they care about their own damn people. They make sure they provide for them, the people that's part of their nation, they so-called YT brethren and sisters. They look out for them, but they tell you don't look out for your own people. You got it.
Imagine that. You understand? That's the point, that there is no respect of person when you come in here. You get treated like everybody else. You understand? Don't try to Salakia. Don't try to be like, well, I should be treated better than this brother. I have an 800 credit score. I don't care less about your credit score. Who gave you that credit score? The white man whose economy is about to crash anyways? Are you serious? The point is, there's no respect of person over here. You get treated just like every other brother. You know, and both of y'all should come to class. Whether you're broke, whether you're rich, from old to young, it don't matter. Christ said he wants everybody. He's waiting for us. He's waiting for everybody to come back. Let me get 2 Peter real quick, chapter 3. We're running short on time, and I want to get back to Zechariah real quick. Right. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. Listen, he's not like you. He's not a procrastinator. Most I didn't forget. He knows he's going to send Christ. He's not a procrastinator, unlike you who say, well, I'm not ready to stop smoking. Listen, as you watch the class, put the blunt down. As my captain would say, stop sucking on blunts. Good night. Shout out to my captain, though. But time to change is right now. Time to get right is right now. You procrastinator, you know what? I need to smoke this last cigarette. You're going to smoke the last cigarette, and then you know what? You're going to feel the need to smoke another one and buy another pack. Just throw the pack away. It's that simple. He said that's going to be your last piece of bacon, pork bacon. That might be because you might have a heart attack. Just throw the pork bacon away. Go get you some beef bacon, some lamb bacon, some deer bacon. Like, there's so many bacons you could make, and you have to settle for pork as if it's the only bacon on the face of the earth. Imagine that. Stop making excuses. The Most High didn't forget about you. You understand? And he's not a procrastinator. Let's keep reading. But his long suffering to us, on us, Salakia, but his long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish. He wants everybody. He don't care about Jay-Z, Birdman. It's not about just, the neighborhood crackhead to make sure he get right. Everybody needs to get right. All the nation. There's no respect of persons. It's all the nation, whoever it is, from the ex-military to the cop that just got hired. That, like, you know what? Maybe I cannot be a police officer. Maybe I should just leave and find another job that doesn't oppress my people for the white man. You understand? There is people from all walks of life. And he's waiting for us because he don't want any of us to perish. But that all should come to repentance. That all of us should come to repentance. Verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. That day of the Lord, I don't even know how Christians say they're waiting for the day of the Lord. You're really not. You really don't want the day of the Lord to happen. Because, I mean, this is the day of the Lord. This is the black swan event that people think will not happen. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Listen, it's talking about war. It's talking about thermonuclear war. All these bombs in the sky, all these alarms ringing. Y'all be like, what the hell is this? This is what it's talking about. Christ cracking the sky open. He's not going to be quiet. You think you loud kicking in the door? Christ is going to crack the sky. The hell with kicking in the door. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. That's nuclear war. It's not a black swan event. This is biblical prophecy. It's also in the Old Testament in Zechariah 12 and 14, where it says their eyes shall melt in their face and their tongues will melt in their mouth. You know that you could just Google it. The only thing that could do this is a nuclear bomb. Nuclear war is in the Bible. It is not a black swan event that may or may not happen. It is a biblical prophecy that will come to pass. Let me finish real quick. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Let's get back to Zechariah real quick. And this is why it should happen. This is why it will happen again. Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the Lord who is a man of war, the God of hosts, the God of armies. You understand? After the glory had he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. The most precious thing to the Lord. The most precious, the only people that he cares about. You know what they did to us? They skinned our newborn babies alive and fed them to alligators. They still hang us to the neck by today. You understand? They scalped our men and women. So much so that a lot of indigenous communities, you know what they're saying? They're saying they had a matriarchal society. That is a lie. They had a patriarchal society. And when they started having a matriarchal society, it's because all the men are gone. Dead and gone. Why? Because how oppressive the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. That's why. Just like he removed the black men in the black household, he removed the Hispanic men in the Hispanic household. He removed the native men in the native household. Now, who think they run the show? Women. That's it. When you say a black woman is the white man's lieutenant, it encompasses so-called blacks, Latinas, and native women. But they were made the lieutenant. They were not born to be the lieutenant of the oppressor. They were made, they were conditioned to be the lieutenant of our oppressor, to destroy us even further than we already are. You get me? Zechariah chapter 2 verse 9. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them. All these nations will get it. None of them will escape the judgments of the Lord. And they shall be a spoil to their servants. And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts had sent me. Listen, what we're about to witness is, you see how Pushaisi said he'll get him back in blood? The Most High will get him back in blood, because the blood of his people has been shed by every single nation on the face of the earth. We will witness that this is the doings of the Lord. Every nation will be that, well, I used to worship a rock. I used to worship an elephant. I used to worship a frog or a cat. Now I'd be like, well, it was all made up. This is the one true God, the one and only living God. And he's the one doing this. He's the one that's responsible for this. And guess what? They're going to know that it's because of what they did to us. And there is no denying that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the nation of Israel, is the one and only true living God. Shiva can do this. Allah can do this. Caesar Borgia, who you call Christ, who's an imposter, the white boy in your church, cannot do this. The nigger God can. It's a lock. We're running short on time. We're going to start right here for time's sake. We might do a part 2. You know, the class. The next week will be in French, right? Make sure y'all click on the signing and sign out links. But we'll show you, right? Officer Matabar sent me a clip which we'll play just now. This is future of these nations. Let me share my screen.
Hi.
Nico says she want to bow down, kiss the boots of the men of the Lord.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Most High Christ will give Isaiah 49:23.
They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth. And
So you got to bow down on the ground.
Yes, sir.
Let's make sure we can see. You show the angle. Okay, yeah.
Can you see? Oh.
I'm right. Give him your hand. All right. And what should I do?
and lick up the dust of thy feet.
So imagine you got boots in front of your face right now.
Yes, sir.
We can't be there with you physically. So imagine that we there.
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
Man, most High Christ. You can get it up into another level, Officer Matabar. Lord is
down to thee with their face towards the earth. Now, Mikey, you said you're willing to do it. Mm-hmm. Then bow down with your face towards the earth. And this is the other step. And lick up the dust of thy feet. Now, I'm not asking to stick your tongue out and lick our boots. That's not what I'm saying. But it says, kiss our boots. You understand? Now, here's what I'm going to do for you. Right? Mm-hmm. Would you kiss the boot of the descendant of the slave that your people had in chains? Yes, sir. Most High in Christ, give Mikey a hand. He is truly a remorseful descendant of the slave masters who had our people in chains and who is still unaliving our people by the thousands.
Hey, we're gonna stop right here. Yeah, Salakia. We're gonna stop right here. You understand? Right. We're gonna end the class right here. And this is not a Black Swan event either. Our oppressor bowing down to us, requesting mercy, is not a Black Swan event that may or may not happen. It just did. And that's not the first nor the last time it happens. With that said, we're going to end the class right here. Getting security announcements. Officer Matabar, Salak, sir, anything you want to add before we close the class?
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yisrakata, Yahweh Shabbat, Thamba Shem Yahweh Shah, and always, always a pleasure coming to class with you, rocking it out with you, man. Most High in Christ.
Yeah, Most High in Christ. The water to you, sir. It's always an honor to have you on the class. So that was Officer 5000 Matabar to Louisiana. Y'all tune into I.S.U.P.K. Louisiana. Whether you're down south or not, it don't matter. Just come to class. You understand? With that said, we're going to close the class right here. Y'all make sure y'all get ready to tune into General Mahaiman's scripture breakdown on ISUPK One West online classes on YouTube. With that, every single brother, I'll say Shalom, Yahweh B'Hashem Shurakatam, and to all the sisters, Yahweh Shemala, Tan B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the water. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, which is in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we are currently in the 8 days of the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah, right? Which started on Sunday, the 14th of December, 2025, for a span of 8 days. You can read more about it in the book of 1 Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 4, verse 52 to 61. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, so we give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Menavisual Imajim, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Menavisual Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Brakatham. Mean Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. So turn in for the sisters. We'll give them a courtesy salute as well. Menavisual Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatan Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Mean Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. Again, Tawada, Officer Matabar, for joining us today. We'll be back next week. Israel, Shalom.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. Tawada. No better, dog, brother. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear Kyla. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. It's a one West world. We the fucking loudest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you, hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yup, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon off.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General YAHANNA presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. all black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General YAHANNA. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West.